Does ownership truly equate to happiness, or could a world where we own nothing and yet find contentment be our future? This is the question we're grappling with today, a puzzle that we refer to as the ownership paradox. For millennia, the concept of ownership has been intrinsically tied to our perception of success and fulfillment. From the lands of feudal lords to the skyscrapers of modern moguls, owning property, possessions, and wealth has been a universal symbol of achievement. It's an idea deeply ingrained in our societies and cultures, a tangible measure of one's standing in the world. However, in recent years, a thought-provoking vision of the future has been gaining momentum. It's a vision where we, as a society, move from owning physical possessions to accessing services and products, as and when we need them. This idea, often encapsulated in the phrase "own nothing and be happy," represents a radical shift from our current norms. Imagine a world where instead of buying a car, you just use one when you need to travel. Instead of owning a house full of tools you rarely use, you borrow them from a shared library. Instead of purchasing software, you access it as a service. This vision is not just about reducing clutter or saving money, it's about a fundamental rethinking of how we live, work, and interact with the world around us. This concept is part of broader discussions on sustainability, economic models, and societal well-being. It suggests a shift from a possession-driven society to one focused on experiences, access, and shared resources. The implications are vast, touching on subjects like minimalism, the sharing economy, and as-a-service models. It also raises profound questions about how we value ownership, material wealth, and personal well-being. However, it's not without its detractors. Concerns about personal freedom, privacy, and the economic ramifications of such a shift are hotly debated. The path to this envisioned future is fraught with significant challenges, including cultural resistance, economic restructuring, and ensuring equitable access to shared resources. As we grapple with this paradox, it's worth exploring both sides of the debate. Imagine a world where possessions don't dictate our happiness. The possibility sounds liberating, doesn't it? In this envisaged world, we move away from the traditional ownership model, where we accumulate goods, to a more sustainable consumption model. The concept of own nothing and be happy offers a tantalizing prospect of a society where waste is significantly reduced. By sharing or leasing, we utilize resources more efficiently. We maximize the use of each item, whether it's a car, a hand drill, or a designer dress, instead of letting it gather dust in a garage or a closet. This model also holds the potential for a more equitable distribution of resources. The sharing economy, for instance, opens up access to goods and services that may have been out of reach for some. Car-sharing platforms can provide affordable transportation options for those who can't afford their own vehicle. Tool libraries can make expensive tools accessible for occasional users. The as-a-service model is another example of how this concept can be applied. Software as a service, or SaaS, has already transformed the way businesses operate, allowing them to access high-level software without the need for hefty upfront investments. Similarly, mobility as a service, or MaaS, could redefine urban transportation, making it more affordable and accessible for all, while reducing the number of underused vehicles on our streets. The own nothing and be happy concept also invites us to reconsider what we value. By shifting the focus from ownership to experiences, it encourages us to seek fulfillment in what we do, not what we have. It challenges the materialistic mindset that equates happiness with possessions and instead promotes a culture of sharing, access, and experience. Of course, this shift requires support from various quarters. Technology plays a crucial role in enabling the sharing and as-a-service models. Government regulation and societal acceptance are equally critical in making this vision a reality. This vision of the future holds promise, but it's not without its share of criticisms. The freedom from possessions may come with its own set of chains. A provocative statement, yet it captures the essence of the potential drawbacks of the own nothing and be happy philosophy. First, let's delve into the issue of privacy. In a world where we lease or share everything, there's a heightened risk of personal information being misused or exploited. Every interaction, every transaction becomes a data point, potentially painting a detailed portrait of our lives for corporations to scrutinize and profit from. Then there's the matter of personal freedom. If we don't own anything, we're essentially at the mercy of those who provide the services and products we need. What happens if the leasing company decides to hike up prices? Or if the sharing platform you rely on for transportation suddenly goes out of business? The shift from ownership to access might inadvertently create a new form of dependency, one that could be exploited by those in control. Moreover, the economic implications of such a shift cannot be overlooked. Traditional economic structures are built around the concept of ownership. If we remove that pillar, it could lead to economic instability as industries scramble to adapt. Jobs tied to manufacturing, sales and maintenance of products could be at risk, leading to unemployment and social unrest. And let's not forget the cultural resistance to this idea. Ownership is deeply entrenched in our society, often seen as a symbol of success and stability. Overcoming this mindset would require a significant cultural shift, one that could take generations to achieve. Implementing the own nothing and be happy vision also faces practical challenges. How do we ensure equitable access to shared resources? How do we prevent monopolies from forming and exploiting the system? How do we balance the need for sustainability with the desire for personal freedom and privacy? It's clear that this concept is not a one-size-fits-all solution. It comes with its own set of challenges that need careful consideration. As we continue to explore this idea, it's crucial to keep these potential pitfalls in mind and strive for a balance that preserves our personal freedoms while promoting sustainability and shared prosperity. So, can we truly own nothing and still be happy? The answer may not be as straightforward as we'd like. The debate around this concept is as multifaceted as a prism, reflecting different perspectives and arguments. On one hand, the prospect of a possession-light society brings promises of sustainable consumption, reduced waste, and equitable access to resources. The idea of living unburdened by material possessions, focusing on experiences and shared resources, is indeed alluring. On the other hand, there are valid concerns about the potential loss of personal freedom, privacy, and the economic implications of such a shift. Some critics worry about the power dynamics that could emerge from dependency on shared or leased resources. It's important to remember that this concept is not an absolute, but a spectrum. Different models might suit different contexts, and the most sustainable and equitable solutions will likely fall somewhere in the middle. In the end, the question of ownership and happiness is a deeply personal one, shaped by our values, aspirations, and the society we live in. Perhaps it's not about owning nothing or everything, but finding the right balance for each of us.